Calaroga Shark Media.
Hey man, I'm Jenny Mac with your daily comedy news. If you're a relatively new listener, I don't skip days. I do pre-tape sometimes, but I don't skip any days, so there will be episodes all 7 days this week and every week. Let's start with a controversy, always fun. Did you see Corey Holcomb called out Dave Chappelle for bombing? Here's a long clip. It's pretty lengthy, but I think the best way for you to experience this is to hear Corey himself. I have made a few edits for language, but here's Corey Holcomb.
I have watched, whenever they say, hey, everybody, guess what? Special guest, Dave Chappelle. I'll be like, damn. It's finna be hot garbage for at least an hour, maybe two. I'm just keeping it real, but he needs to understand you throwing your weight around too much, man. Standing up there smoking with them irregular shirts on, bombing, all the time. Dave Chappelle is absolutely great in movies. Great. I didn't say good. I said great. Nutty Professor, them scenes where he was in them movies with Martin. The Chappelle Show was so good and entertaining. The Chappelle Show, they were selling it in the barbershops. It's a TV show. Yeah. They were selling the TV show in the barbershops. Give Dave Chappelle his flowers, but stand up. God damn. This man has so much power because of what he's done in movies and TV that he can go in any comedy club. They're going to put him up because he's Dave Chappelle. And I promise you, this man is about to do a say no to comedy speech for as long as he up there. It's just nobody has the courage to say nothing because it's Dave Chappelle. But Dave Chappelle be bombing. Now, I've watched Dave Chappelle specials. Out of every 5 specials, 2 of them are good.
Well, that's fun. You know, I've seen Dave many times, and I think it depends on what Dave is doing. Sometimes you get thoughtful, rambling Dave, who tends to be philosophical and get some good jokes in there. Perhaps he's just working out material when he's doing that. And then other times you get Chappelle on point, using his best fastball, and he crushes. So, I mean, does Dave bomb? Not every show's awesome. So Corey is saying it in a particular way to make a point. It is not a ridiculous notion, though. Here's one that would be coming to a bargain bin at your local Walmart. Do they still have those? I guess it'll just go somewhere on streaming. David Spade and Theo are going to star in Busboys, a buddy comedy that they co-wrote and have self-financed. Set in a border town in Arizona, the film follows David and Theo, 2 friends that think becoming waiters will solve all their problems. They're wrong. I mean, Theo's got a big following, but this sounds like the kind of straight-to-DVD thing they used to make that doesn't happen anymore. David Spade said, "We're looking forward to gracing everyone with this comedy that no one asked for." His words, not mine. Bill Burr is also making a movie. Sources tell Deadline that Skydance Sports has closed a development deal with Bill Burr to write, direct, produce, and star in a film that will be called Born Losers. This will be the first film project for Bill Burr's company that I told you about. I don't know. I taped a bunch of these recently. I don't know. Did I say that on Sunday's episode? Saturday? I can't remember. Anyway, recently, Bill Burr had a new company called North Hill. This is the first project for North Hill. What is Born Losers about? It's a secret. Nice lineup at the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival in Vancouver next September in Stanley Park, which I've been to Vancouver and I've been to Stanley Park. It is a fantastic park. John Mulaney will headline Saturday night. Boy, you know, I could make a case for me going to Vancouver. Here's who else is doing the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival. Bert Kreischer, Whitney Cummings, Birbiglia, Nick Kroll, Fred Armisen. You know, it wouldn't be nuts for a guy who hosts a daily comedy podcast to find himself in Vancouver attending that thing. I love Vancouver, too. I'm going to think about that one. EW caught up with Guy Branum, who looked back on his worst Hollywood boss. He said he probably shouldn't be telling this story, and then did. Let's see if we could figure out who he's talking about here. Branum said, "So he's an actor whom I'd co-starred with in a movie, and he also created a noteworthy prank show. Who could he mean? Now, some people on the internet point out that Guy Branum worked with Ashton Kutcher on the 2011 movie No Strings Attached, and then the year after that was a producer on 12 episodes of Punk'd, which was created by Kutcher. Well, whoever he's talking about, he says he's an actor who I'd co-starred with in a movie, and he also created a noteworthy prank show. But I just lost the best job I'd ever had in the industry, and I was desperate for money, and a friend of a friend recommended me to write for his prank show. And the guy who created it already kind of didn't like me, but he was scared of me, and I value that. He was one of the dumbest human beings that I've ever experienced. Guy said the boss had an idea for, quote, an amazing prank. The plan was to have a chalk artist draw a big chasm on the ground. Guy jokes that the boss probably didn't know the word chasm. How the prank would have worked, people would go indoors and pretend they felt an earthquake and then walk outside where the target of the prank would see the chalk. Branum said, and ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing harder than having to not laugh in your boss's face, understanding if you laugh in their face, you won't be able to pay your rent, but they're saying the stupidest things imaginable. Hollywood Reporter spoke to Veer about Losing It, his second stand-up special for Netflix. They were curious what he thinks of the representation of Indians in Western TV. Veer said, I'd love to see us more flawed, and I'd love to see us making horrible choices. I'd love to see us getting violent, and I'd love to see us dying more. I'd love to see us killing more, and I'd love to see us having more sex. I'd love to see us challenge the model minority perspective, the doctor, the diligent student, the IT professional. There are 1.4 billion of us who are flawed and making horrible choices and doing drugs and hooking up and having sex and falling in love. You don't get to see a lot of that. Love that answer. That's a great answer. They were curious, why hasn't Indian content broken out internationally in a way that, say, South Korean content has? Veer says, well, we're busy. We release 6 films a weekend. We have our own stuff going on, you know? So with all due respect, we'll get to the global explosion when we have time. Right now, we're making great movies for a massive audience, and we're very, very busy. They asked him about his infamous 2 Indias routine. Veer said, I think the hard lesson is maybe don't use an open mic at the Kennedy Center to test out new material. But I think if you're fortunate enough to have the kind of audience that I have globally, the numbers that I have, you're on a train ride, and one stop on that train ride is a massive public ass-whooping. Whether you're quiet or reckless, the train's going to stop at that station at least once in your career, but the train keeps going, and there are many happy stops on the way as well. I love this interview. From EW, Anna Gasteyer recalled a story in which Will Ferrell violated Diddy's closed-set protocols when Diddy rehearsed his musical performance for a 1998 episode of Saturday Night Live. Anna told Las Culturistas, when P. Diddy came, he, of course, shut down the whole building. Anna said that closing the SNL set for rehearsal was a rare and generally frowned-upon practice during her time there, 96 to 02. She said, you can tell the 5 a-holes in the 6 years that I was there where they'd be so-and-so's in the building, everybody stay in your dressing rooms. Oh, now I kind of want to look at the list. Should we do that? It's a holiday week. Let's do that. Okay. I need a list of SNL guest hosts and musical acts. Thank you, Wikipedia. This is going to take me a minute to do, but this is fun. All right, let's scroll down to 1996 and see if we can figure out who the, jerk faces might have been. Pure speculation, of course. All right, let's see. Tom Hanks, Tom Petty, no. Lisa Kudrow, Sheryl Crow, no. Bill Pullman, New Edition, no. Dana Carvey, Dr. Dre, no. Chris Rock, Wallflowers. Downey Jr., Fiona Apple. Phil Hartman, Bush. Martin Short, no doubt. Rosie O'Donnell, Whitney Houston. You think maybe Whitney Houston? I don't know her rep. Big star, though. I could see it being Whitney Houston. Let's put her on the possibles. Kevin Spacey, Beck. David Alan Grier, Snoop. Nev Campbell, David Bowie. Chevy Chase and Live. Alec Baldwin, Tina Turner, Sting, Veronica Salt, Mike Myers, and Aerosmith. I have met Aerosmith. They were cool. Rob Lowe, Spice Girls, Pamela Anderson, Rollins Band, John Goodman, Jewel, Jeff Goldblum, and Vogue. Nope. 97 season. Stallone, Jamiroquai, Matthew Perry, Oasis. You think maybe Oasis? Let's put them on the possibles. That's 2. Brendan Fraser, Bjork, Farley and the Mighty Boss Tones, Lovett's Jane's Addiction, Claire Danes, Mariah Carey, Giuliani. 97 Giuliani would have been quote-unquote cool, though. Sarah McLachlan, Nathan Lane, Metallica. Metallica's cool. I've dealt with them. Helen Hunt Hansen, Sam Jackson, Ben Folds 5, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Portishead, John Goodman, Paula Cole, Roma Downey, Missy Elliott, Garth Brooks, and Garth Brooks. Maybe? Scott Wolf, Natalie Imbruglia, Julianne Moore, Backstreet Boys, Steve Buscemi, Third Eye Blind, Greg Kinnear, All Saints, Matthew Broderick, Natalie Merchant, Duchovny, and Puff Daddy and Jimmy Page. All right, so that's one of them. 98, Cameron Diaz, Smashing Pumpkins, Kelsey Grammer, Sheryl Crow, Lucy Lawless, Elliott Smith, Ben Stiller, Alanis Morissette, David Spade, Eagle-Eyed Cherry, Joan Allen, Jewel, Jennifer Love Hewitt, Beastie Boys. I almost misread that as Beach Boys. Imagine if the Beach Boys were the musical act on SNL in the 90s. Vince Vaughn, Lauryn Hill, Alec Baldwin host. This is December 98. Musical guest Pavarotti, Vanessa Williams, and the Philadelphia Boys Choir and Chorale. Bill Paxton and Beck, James Van Der Beek and Everlast, Gwyneth Paltrow, Bare Naked Ladies, Brendan Fraser again, Busta Rhymes and the Roots, Bill Murray, Lucinda Williams, Ray Romano, The Cars, Drew Barrymore, Garbage, Goodman and Tom Petty, Cuba Gooding Jr., Ricky Martin, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Backstreet Boys. None of those, right? All right. 99. Here's an episode. Host Jerry Seinfeld, musical guest David Bowie. Not bad. Heather Graham, Mark Anthony. Norm with Dr. Dre. Dylan McDermott with Foo Fighters. Garth Brooks, musical guest. Garth Brooks is Chris Gaines. I'm keeping Garth Brooks on my suspect list. Jennifer Aniston, Sting. Christina Ricci, Beck. Danny DeVito and R.E.M. That's a good show. My former co-worker Jamie Foxx, Blink-182, Freddie Prinze Jr., Macy Gray, Alan Cumming, Jennifer Lopez, Juliana Margulies, DMX, Ben Affleck, Fiona Apple, Joshua Jackson, NSYNC, The Rock and AC/DC. That's a good show. Walken and Christina Aguilera, Tobey Maguire and Cisco, John Goodman, Neil Young, Britney Spears and Britney Spears. Could be, right? Could be. Jackie Chan, Kid Rock. All right, 2000. Rob Lowe, Eminem, Kate Hudson, Radiohead, Carvey, Wallflowers, Charlize Theron, Paul Simon, Callista Flockhart, Ricky Martin, Tom Green, David Gray, Val Kilmer, U2. You think U2 could be uppity? I could see U2 being uppity. Lucy Liu, Jay-Z. You think Jay-Z? I'm putting Jay-Z on the list. Charlie Sheen, Nelly Furtado, Mina Savari, Lenny Kravitz, Jennifer Lopez doubling up. Think it could be Jennifer Lopez? Could be Jennifer Lopez, right? That'd be 2 and 4 weeks. Anna would be so mad. Sean Hayes and Shaggy, Katie Holmes and Dave Matthews. Katie Holmes back in the Tom Cruise era? Could be Katie Holmes. Conan with Don Henley. Don Henley also doesn't have a great rep. Julia Stiles, Aerosmith, Alec Baldwin and Coldplay, Renee Zellweger and Eve, Pierce Brosnan and Destiny's Child, Lara Flynn Boyle with Bon Jovi, Christopher Walken and Weezer. That's a great show. I know I'm just reading you a list. I know. We got to do the next 40, right? 20 and 20. Reese Witherspoon, Alicia Keys, Sean William Scott. Who's Sean William Scott? This is the first name where I'm like, wow, these are all household names. Sean William Scott is best known for his breakout role as Steve Stifler in American Pie. That didn't age well. Musical guest Sum 41. That October 6, 2001 SNL has not aged well. Drew Barrymore, Macy Gray, John Goodman, Ja Rule, Gwyneth Paltrow, Ryan Adams, Billy Bob Thornton, Creed, Derek Jeter with Bubba Sparks and Shakira, Hugh Jackman with Mick Jagger, Ellen with No Doubt. Ellen's got a bad rep. Maybe it was Ellen. Josh Hart and Pink, Jack Black and the Strokes, Britney doubling up again, Johnny Mosley and Outkast, Jon Stewart, India Ari. Jon Stewart hosted SNL, this in 2002. Was he even at The Daily Show yet? I can't remember. Ian McKellen, Kylie Minogue, Cameron Diaz, Jimmy Eat World, The Rock with Andrew WK, Alec Baldwin, POD, Kirsten Dunst, Eminem, Winona Ryder with Moby. All right, one more season. Nice kickoff in 2002. Season premiere, Matt Damon and Springsteen. Sarah Michelle Gellar with Faith Hill, John McCain and the White Stripes. I don't know why that's funny. It just is. Eric McCormick and Jay-Z. Yeah, I'm putting Jay-Z on the list, man. Nia Vardalos and Eve, Brittany Murphy and Nelly, De Niro and Norah Jones. Would De Niro lock things down? Al Gore and Fish. Jeff Gordon, Avril Lavigne, Ray Liotta and the Donnas, McConaughey and the Dixie Chicks, Jennifer Garner and Beck, Walken and Foo Fighters, Queen Latifah with musical guest Miss Dynamite, Selma Hayek, Christina Aguilera, Bernie Mac, Good Charlotte, Ray Romano with Zwan was your musical guest in 2003, ZWAN, Ashton Kutcher with 50 Cent, Adrian Brody with Sean Paul, Wayne Wonder, and Dan Aykroyd with Beyonce. All right. I'm going to guess, and I don't know. I'm going to guess. I'm going backwards here. I'm going to guess Beyonce, Jay-Z, Ellen, Garth Brooks, and Diddy, right? That'd be 5. Who knows? Look at me. Now I have a super long episode in holiday week. If anybody's still here, I know I just read a list for 10 minutes. Anybody still here? Are you still here? Because I have a story I was going to tell you. But I got to finish Anna's story. You may recall 17 minutes ago, before I started reading a list, Anna said that closing the set for rehearsal was rare, and you could tell the 5 a-holes in the 6 years that I was there. They'd be like, so-and-so's in the building, everybody stay in your dressing rooms, which is applicable if you're a presidential candidate, but apart from that, it's my house. Diddy, he demanded a totally closed set. Anyway, during the Thursday rehearsal, Will Ferrell was dressed as an SNL crew contributor named Ron as part of the opening bit, and decided to violate Diddy's set protocols as a gag. Anna said they were like, wouldn't it be funny if Ron just went in? And he did. He went on down the stairs and he marched right in. I have the video from the control room where Sean Combs is rapping, and behind him, Ron's walking around looking really disoriented in character. Oh, I got one more for you, and I can't bump it because it's tonight. From Boston.com. They write, a rabbi, 2 Jewish comedians, and a TikTok personality walk in a bar. No, it's not the setup for a joke. It is a joke, because we could all use a smile right now. It's a comedy game show called That's So Jewish. It'll be at Laugh Boston tonight, hosted by Ethan Levine. The description, imagine Jeopardy just for Jews. Contestants compete during 5 rounds of sketches, trivia, and music, with categories such as poorly described Jewish holidays and Jew or not a Jew. One of those questions, for example, is the British royal family Jewish? Ethan says the only thing Jewish about them is that they hate their daughter-in-law. That sounds like a really fun show. All right, that's your comedy news for today. I know no one's here. I know everybody punched out in the middle of that list. Hey, I don't know. I wanted to know. I needed to know who the jerk faces were, and I think we have sussed them out. Wait, I'm getting a note from the lawyers here. Pure parody. I was just kidding. I was just joking around. See you tomorrow.